It is with great honor I stand here today among such a dedicated group of people. I want to express my gratitude to Grace Hill Bible University and the Victorious Living Foundation led by Dr. Nicole Francis Cotton. Dr. Francis Cotton is someone I deeply respect, not only for her hard work as a certified holistic health coach, but also for her unwavering commitment to improving lives. Guess what? VSR too is in the profession of improving lives. For this reason, we did not hesitate to collaborate with Victorious Living Foundation on this important initiative, in particular for this sensitive topic of suicide, that will be addressed from different perspectives. Suicide is a silent crisis that impacts individuals, families, entire communities. Suicide is on the rise in our community, with the most recent victim only 14 years old. As Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, it is my responsibility to help break that stigma. We must understand what brings someone to such despair and work together to provide hope and support. By raising awareness and having open conversations, we can save lives. With regard to the participants in this masterclass, based on conversations and their professional backgrounds, I can state with confidence the knowledge and commitment in this room have the power to change lives and strengthen our community. Your efforts are building a future where no one has to face their struggles alone. Let us remember that suicide prevention is a shared responsibility. It is something we all can contribute to as family members, friends, and community members. Together, with God's guidance, we can create a network of love, support, and understanding. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Sashira Tomasia Hyman. Let's take a look at today's agenda. Outpatient treatment of the suicidal patient. Inpatient treatment of the suicidal patient. Differences of inpatient and outpatient treatment. Outpatient psychotherapy. Outpatient risk factors. Making the decision to hospitalize. Risk factors for inpatient suicide. Inpatient environment. Conclusion of inpatient and outpatient treatment for suicidal patients. Outpatient treatment of the suicidal patient. Outpatient treatment refers to a type of mental health care where patients receive therapy and support while living at home rather than being admitted to a hospital. This approach allows individuals to maintain their daily routines and responsibilities while still accessing professional help. Outpatient treatment can be effective for individuals who are stable enough to manage their symptoms at home, but still require ongoing support and intervention. Inpatient treatment of the suicidal patient involves providing care in a hospital or specialized facility where patients can receive intensive support and monitoring. It provides a structured environment with 24/7 supervision and support from medical professionals. Inpatient treatment is recommended for individuals who are at high risk of self-harm or suicide, as it allows for intensive monitoring and immediate intervention if necessary. Patients participate in therapy sessions, medication management, and group activities designed to promote recovery. Differences between inpatient and outpatient. In summary, the key differences lie in the setting, level of care, duration, intensity of treatment, indications for use. Keep in mind that inpatient care is more intensive and closely monitored, while outpatient care provides more flexibility and independence. Outpatient psychotherapy. Outpatient psychotherapy refers to therapeutic services provided to individuals who do not require hospitalization. Patients attend scheduled therapy sessions while living at home, allowing them to maintain their daily routine and responsibilities. Outpatient psychotherapy includes individual therapy, which is one-on-one sessions with a licensed therapist focusing on the patient's specific issues such as depression, anxiety, or trauma. Group therapy, sessions involving multiple participants who share similar experiences or challenges. Family therapy involves family members in the therapeutic process to address relational dynamics and improve communication within the family unit. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is a structured approach that helps individuals identify and change negative thoughts, patterns, and behaviors. Outpatient risk factors. Outpatient treatment for individuals at risk of suicide comes with various risk factors that need to be considered to ensure safety and effectiveness. Some of these risk factors include severity of symptoms. Patients with severe depression, anxiety, or other mental health disorders may have a higher risk of suicidal thoughts or behavior.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social health insurances.
My name is Lichna Bakari Arundel, and today I would like to inform the general public of the annual Rotary Table Tennis Tournament, which takes place on Saturday, March 22nd, 2025 at the Great Bay Sports Auditorium. The time will be from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., and we are inviting all players, whether seasoned or beginner or even curious, to come out to this particular event to enjoy the sport of table tennis and, of course, to witness the talent of many table tennis players on St. Martin. Now, to register, simply visit the Facebook page, which is SXM Table Tennis, and just simply send us your full name and email address and telephone number. Entrance is free, and of course, spectators are welcome to attend and cheer on their favorite players. So once again, the annual Rotary Table Tennis Tournament takes place on Saturday, 22nd, 2025 at the Great Bay Sports Auditorium from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if you are unable to register via our Facebook page, please feel free to just show up on the day, and then we can have you registered.
weekend I had a very uncomfortable weekend dealing with garbage and the garbage system in St. Peter's. But eventually I got a lot of private messages, and one of the messages brought me back to the point and a question that I asked during the budget debate, which was, how much does government owe? And when I say owe, vendors, workers, contractors, and I can't remember ever receiving that answer. But that is something that I'd really like to hear from the minister. What is the plan? Because like I said, during the budget debate, I didn't get any, and I didn't see any ideas or any monies put aside to pay people that are owed. And I'm not saying that this is a fact, that the garbage is not being picked up because they have not been paid, but this is what I heard. So I'd like if the minister could elaborate a little on that, and all those that are listening could hear it, that my ranting and raving was not for nothing.
In jurisprudence, there were two court cases big court cases where in the instances the suspects were acquitted of tax issues because the judge said, if you never file taxes and the tax never issued the invitation to payment, you cannot be held accountable. That is something very important. This is why I stress on compliance. And yes, it's probably setting a dangerous precedent saying it publicly, but it has to put the tax department on their toes to ensure that their compliance are up to par. This was judgment issued by the Court of St. Martin.
Regarding the ROV, and looking at what I believe could be a long process, or even, let's say, a difficult process, and a back and forth even with the Council of Vice, among others. Minister, the same areas, as I mentioned, that you would have to find some type of revenue, because you're going to lose revenue on one side, so you have to find revenue on the other side. The same revenue that you're finding, or you plan to find, is it a possibility or something to look into, that, hey, we say, you know what, this process might take too long or might be too difficult, and then we look at other ways of supporting or even subsidizing the seniors, like we do, or we have how the Netherlands does with, let's say, housing support and this support and that support, because that does not require legislative changes. It just means we have to find more revenue, probably the same revenue that you're going to find, and that way it goes directly to the seniors and a lot faster. And that could be done in a year, actually. So I'm looking forward to the updates on the questions, so that we could actually find like real solutions to help not just the seniors, but then others in the community that need support when it comes to housing, among others.
Regarding the breakdown of the seniors relief, well, once we get the answers from the minister, I think it will answer a lot of our questions that we have already. But regarding the breakdown of the seniors relief and the changes to the tax brackets, I noted that I believe the minister said that changes will be made to AOV as a source of income when it comes to the calculation of the taxes for seniors. And I just wanted to make sure that's what it was. And I think once we have the answers in writing, then the question will come out of it, because I tried to keep up with it by taking some notes of the changes of 12.5% to 200, 20% to 0. But I would like the breakdown regarding the different brackets, because the minister noted that there were 6,300 seniors, where 85% of those 6,300 are being taxed, and it was just to get the complete list of that, please, Minister. Other MPs have talked about the timeline regarding the various taxes mentioned. One of them that I would like to ask about is regarding profit tax. The minister noted that the profit tax will be decreased in a phased approach. I also took note of the fact that it was mentioned that profit tax for SMEs would be considered as an exemption. But one of the issues that we've had in this dialogue of profit tax being eliminated or brought down to 0 or restricted to a maximum of 15% globally, it's because one of the reasons is because of ring fencing, as they like to call it, where global companies, international companies will shift their profits to avoid taxes in various jurisdictions. And I believe there's a significant amount of countries in the world that have actually signed on to agreeing to the minimum level of profit tax being 15%. Now, with that being the case, I want to see how the SMEs will fare if we are offering an exemption for that, whether or not it opens the door for the discussion of maybe being outside of what the global approval are or the global commitment is to minimum 15%. I'm sure a lot of businesses would love to have 0% profit tax, but I don't know whether or not that ship has sailed on 0% profit tax. But I do know that, where St. Martin stands in comparison to Aruba and Curacao, we are the only ones waiting to adjust our profit tax. There's one question that I do have, which, I know we didn't bring up because, the fact that we've been waiting on tax reform for such a long time, it seems that all of the questions are coming up in this discussion where we were talking specifically about ex officio tax assessments. But I believe then that this is just a sign for the Committee of Finance to potentially have another discussion like this regarding tax reform in a more detailed manner. Nonetheless, this has come up, and one of the scenarios that I've dealt with lately consistently in the past year is where you have persons buying property on the Dutch side and asking the question of, well, where do I go to pay taxes on the income that I earn on my property? Because it's one of those things that even though we have real estate companies, even though we have notaries, it's always an area that people miss out on tax from. And I believe because of the frequency of the questions that constantly come to me by persons within the neighboring islands, actually, that buy property on St. Martin are constantly asking, how do we pay taxes here, basically? So there's improvement, again, from our side in making that information readily available for them.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
It's time for a new brand that is as bold, vibrant, and colorful as the island of St. Martin, with colors drawn from our diversity, cultural heritage, and nature. Our breathtaking beaches, waters, and sun, the majestic brown pelican, our national symbol, the radiant yellow sage, our national flower, the historic border monument signifying the Dutch and French sides, our exciting cruise, yachting, and boating ports, renowned Maho Beach and St. Martin Airport, the hub to the Caribbean. All these parts come together to create the shape of the island of St. Martin. More than a logo. It's a new brand that engages, excites, and will inspire travelers to book. It's time to tell the St. Martin story, to reintroduce travelers to St. Martin, to honor our past, to embrace our present, and shape our future. Our culture and diversity, Dutch and French sides, unrivaled cuisine, twice the nightlife, entertainment, and shopping, cruises, boating, and yachting. Twice the adventure, exploration, and relaxation. Splendid and scenic accommodations. Pinel, Tentamar, and island hopping in the Caribbean. Whatever your taste, St. Martin has more. Experience twice the Caribbean. St. Martin.
If you're a mortgage holder or you're seeking to purchase a home, write down this date, July 1, 2025. That date is key because several policy changes will take effect at the National Housing Trust NHT that may take you closer to your own home or improving your current home. The policy changes were announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness during his contribution to the budget debate this evening. Now this one is for loan applicants to the NHT.
Effective July 1, 2025, the NHT will reduce the waiting time for accessing home improvement loans from 10 years to 7 years. So, yeah. So before, you would have to wait 10 years before you could get another home improvement loan. Now we have cut that, and we have increased the loan limit to 5 million from 3.5 million. Effective July 1, 2025, private sector mortgagors will have the option of either a cash refund or the application of their refund amounts to their existing mortgage obligations, provided that the loan is free of arrears.
Consideration too for many Jamaicans who want to spruce up their current homes.
Effective July 1, 2025, the NHT will reduce the waiting time for accessing home improvement loans from 10 years to 7 years. So, yeah. So before, you would have to wait 10 years before you could get another home improvement loan. Now we have cut that, and we have increased the loan limit to 5 million from 3.5 million. The NHT will seek to partner with owners of small parcels of land under the Small Development Partnership Program. This initiative will see the NHT providing project funding and the technical and construction expertise, while the landowner will offer their property as their equity for the development. The proposed properties must be zoned for residential purposes and have access to the requisite support infrastructure, potable water, electricity, sewage. This is targeted at houses for low-income and affordable segments of the housing market. Therefore, the selling price of the units must be under the price point set by the NHT. I have given directives to the NHT to lead a multi-agency team to undertake the master planning for lands at Innswood, in addition to lands slated for development along the St. John's Road corridor. While we are currently engaged in the North-South Highway PPP project to design and build out the upgrades, particularly the Miami Bay section of the road, the government has decided also to pursue the extension of the North-South Toll Road, which will begin with a cloverleaf interchange at Miami Bay, extending westward to Discovery Bay, that's phase 1A, and eastward to Prospect in St. Mary, phase 1B. So this, Madam Speaker, is a major infrastructure development. We'll see 100 fully refurbished buses deployed across parishes, with 60 buses in September 2025 for the start of the new school year, and another 40 buses by January 2026. To further support STEM talent, we are launching the Boost Building Opportunities for Outstanding STEM Students program. Beginning in April 2025, Hart graduates in Level 4 STEM-related courses will be eligible for a grant of up to $300,000 to purchase specialized tools, software to start their business.
So, General, let me tell you, the Prime Minister spoke for over 4 hours, announced a range of policies. So these are just some of the key ones, and obviously I'll bring you a lot more of these to our viewers in subsequent newscasts.